What's up guys, Eli here, back for another film review. Today we're going to be talking about A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. A Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night came out in 2014. I can't believe it's been almost 10 years. And I also can't believe it took me almost 10 years to watch it. I just watched it the other night. So I've got this pretty nice Blu-ray. This is if you want to get a Blu-ray version, this is what you can get. It's got a nice slipcase. Just because I'm a physical media guy, I always end up showing my physical stuff, whether it's a review or not. So, I'll show this off. Very nice presentation. Also comes with this mini comic book that's actually pretty long. I don't know how many pages it is. It's like 50 pages or so. Probably shouldn't have shown that shot, but... So for the rest of the review, I'm just going to refer to it as The Girl, so I don't trip over my own words. I can barely string together a sentence as it is. So... A Girl was written and directed by Anna, and sorry if I mispronounce her name, Anna Lily Armapour. She's a young, up-and-coming Iranian British director who has stayed pretty busy if you look at her IMDb page, but it looks like she's mostly been doing TV series episodes and music videos. Correct me if I'm wrong, man, I can't remember if she has followed up. This was her directorial feature-length debut. I don't know if she's followed up to it yet. I can't remember. So this movie actually garnered quite a bit of hype for like at least a couple of years, even after it came out. And I'll be honest, I kind of ignored it until Mandy in 2018 came out. Spectrevision had released Mandy, which I loved, by the way, and now I simply just must buy every movie with their name on it, like I've been doing with A24. The Girl was touted pretty loudly as a black and white art house film, and not only that, but an Iranian vampire spaghetti western. And back in 2014, I likely would have thought it all sounded pretty pretentious, but nowadays I'm much more, into like an atmospheric slow burn. And pretty much the movie that made me realize that I don't always have to understand every fucking thing. And can just get lost in the visual aspects was Alejandro Jodorowsky's masterpiece, Holy Mountain. But, I mean, that's a different story altogether. But what I was getting at was that movie kind of changed. I saw it around like 2018 or 2019. It really changed the way I look at movies and the way I interpret movies and just the type of movies that I'm open to. It just really like opened my mind up. That movie is literally like a drug unto itself. So, this movie takes place in the fictional Iranian town Bad City. I'm pretty sure, and they don't even say it's in Iran. I guess I just made that part up. Let's just say it's in a fictional town called Bad City. And that's a pretty fitting name, since nobody here is truly happy, and the undertone of sorrow is just everywhere. And you have several characters here in this movie, but I'm just going to focus on two. So first we have Arish, a young man who is really the positive aspect of this movie. Kind of everything around him is really pretty negative. Arash is far from perfect, but he is overall a pretty good dude. He's worked hard for what little he has. He takes care of his, heroin-addicted father, who does not appreciate him at all. His father seems to be mourning the loss of his wife. Doesn't really say when he lost her, but that seems to be the reason for his addiction, to take away all the pain that he experiences. And then we have the mysterious character known only as the Girl, who nobody in town really seems to know. She just kind of roams the streets at night, and you learn fairly quick that she's a vampire. She seems to have a moral compass, despite, what she has to do to survive. And she also seems to go after the more unsavory characters in the town, and not people who she sees as good, decent people. She does portray the, classic vampire tropes, and I thought that was really great. She's lonely, as one would be, and she doesn't completely understand people, as you would imagine. She lives by herself in an apartment, which she pays for by selling the jewelry of her victims, and I like how that part was implied. I also liked how she was passionate about music. Her walls were, covered in posters in her bedroom, and it seemed as if, that was the one thing in her life that made her somewhat happy. She then meets Arash, and they seem to understand each other on some level. They are both lonely and seem to be drawn to each other for reasons they probably don't even really seem to understand. And after meeting a few times, I think you kind of get to understand that the girl sees people as either good or bad, not much gray area, at least through the eyes of the watcher. She explains to Arash that she has done many bad things, and he tells her that he also has. And I gotta say, what really makes this movie are the scenes with Arash and the girl. The chemistry between them is great. You can really feel it. It reminded me of characters in the Swedish film Let the Right One In. You know, two people crossing each other's paths that just understand each other when no one else really does. And the end also reminds me of Let the Right One In, but I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. So as far as a score, I'm going to go ahead and give The Girl Who Walks Home Alone at Night an 8 out of 10. I'm not sure if I saw the timeless classic that a lot of people seem to, but I did really appreciate this. I got some Tarantino vibes and a touch of maybe a little bit of David Lynch, just personally. I also have to note that there weren't many Western elements here, mostly just the soundtrack, but that the idea was still really cool. So anyways, have you guys seen this movie? I know opinions are probably going to be pretty divisive. I'm sure this is kind of a love it or hate it movie. And if it's going to be like that, I more loved it than I certainly didn't hate it. But at the same time, I guess I wouldn't really say I loved it. I did like it a lot. I just maybe didn't see in it what some people saw, but I definitely appreciated it. I definitely enjoyed watching it. I will give it a second watch at some point, especially since I own it. But yeah, that's how I feel. So what do you guys think? Yay? Nay? Let me know. Anyways, as always, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. Louis says hello. He's taking a nap here. And we'll talk soon, huh? Fucking cheers.